this. We want this feature, this person. Do you take that into consideration?
To be honest, yes, a lot I do. But you have to kind of make people like used to the changes. Like every artist has to develop new sounds, or just becomes just linear. You know what I mean? It just becomes like this. So, you know, it's a healthy balance of pleasing your old fans and also, you know, attracting the new ones.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point, you know, because a lot of people, you know, first really gravitated you when you came out, and you've been on a consistent rise in your music career. You know, just last year, your album was the #2 most streamed in hip hop, you know, so that says a lot.
Right.
And, you know, the new music that people can look forward to now, I guess people are kind of wondering more so about the direction, like who are people, you know, that you're going to collaborate with, and then how would you describe like the vibe of it?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it pretty much the same formula as my first project ever, because that's what they want. So not that many features, you know what I mean? But a lot of solo songs, a lot of slow down stuff, a lot of outros, a lot of transitions, just exactly what they want, but updated, you know, quality.
Yeah, updated. I like that you said that you have to kind of figure out the balance between the old and the new, because as an artist, you know, you really have to figure out ways that you can grow and change your sound so that you are growing personally.
Right.
Yeah, what do you feel like is one of the main things that you know, happened for you last year that you can look back and be like, wow, that was a huge accomplishment for me?
Um, Last year, I say like completing my album that I was working really hard on, and like Lemonade hitting like 1 billion streams. A couple crazy things happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Lemonade hitting 1 billion streams is a huge accomplishment. I think this conversation is something I was having actually earlier the other day, where, you know, 1 billion streams is a huge number, but is that considered mainstream? You know, does 1 billion streams make you a mainstream artist?
Um, Sort of, but not really. I feel like mainstream artists, it's like more of like a household name thing. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like where everybody like their goal is to be, but you know, that's my definition, I guess.
Right, right. Okay. And that conversation was just based in, I was watching the Rap Radar podcast, and they were talking about, you know, Yeet, whether or not he's considered mainstream or not because he had 1 billion streams. You know, shout out to Hakeem, who said that he feels like he is mainstream based on that alone. But a lot of people were like, well, I don't know if streams really can define that as being something that's mainstream.
Yeah, it's like 50-50.
Yeah, I guess it could go either way, you know, just depending on who you listen to.
Right.
Right. So you're getting ready to go on tour. It's coming up really quickly. Tell me about, you know, what you're looking forward to most from being on tour.
Honestly, finally being back on the road again. For me, it was a long gap when we did a tour with Schoolboy Q, and then after that it was a time off, and then right after that quarantine for like 2-3 years. You know what I mean? So it's been a long time, and I'm ready to perform my ass off, remind everybody, you know, that what my show is about, and yeah, that's what it is. And also a lot of new music too that I haven't performed.
Okay. That you're going to be performing on tour?
For like the first time, yeah.
Wow, that's really exciting. How many cities are you going to?
How many is it? Like 25.
Okay. Is there one that you're most excited to perform at in particular?
Probably my hometown, Toronto. But you know, obviously like New York, LA, Chicago. Those are like some of my favorite cities too.
Okay. Toronto, hometown, right,
yeah,
right.
For sure.
How has it been with you know, being from Toronto? Have you collaborated and worked with Drake at all? Is a Drake NAV collaboration coming?
I mean, we never know for the future, but the last one we didn't put on the album because, you know, I answered that in the interview already. But yeah, like hopefully in the future, you never know.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. We need that for the culture. Has Drake ever given you any advice or things that have helped you with your career?
I mean, one of the main things he helped me was rapping over the beat. That was back to back. That helped me a lot. You know, we spent some time together in Toronto, and yeah, he be giving me some advice, you know, but I keep it to myself, keep it personal, you know.
Okay. Can't share the Drake gems with the world.
Right.
That's personal. Okay. So when it came to the whole internet saw this the other day, but Lil Uzi was at your house leaving the studio and he slipped and fell in the pool.
Yeah, he did.
Talk to me about that. What was going
Okay,
on?
well,
What
the
time was
story behind it is that like 3 years ago, the pool had way less water in it. So that part that he tried to jump on was showing, like, and you could land on it. And he convinced me to jump with him, and he landed it. And then I almost felt like he did back then, but I grabbed him, and then we took a picture. But this time, when we're walking by it, the water was way higher, and we just talked about that one time. I'm like, yo, remember that time we jumped in the pool, we landed on that thing? He's like, yeah, you want me to do it again? And I couldn't even like answer him. He just tried it right away. And then I was just out of breath after that. I couldn't even breathe. I was laughing so hard. I was crying tears. You can just watch the video. You see me. I literally lost my mind. I couldn't believe that happened.
yeah, for real.
What
So
was amazing was how he kept his hair dry though. That was skill.
he kept his hair dry?
Yeah.
That's funny. Luckily he could swim.
What?
I said luckily he could swim.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he was in there long enough to swim. Luckily, it was shallow though.
Yeah. Luckily he was shallow. That was hilarious. So what were y'all doing together? Were you making music? Was he in the studio?
Yeah. That night, I loaded up a bunch of my beats, and he was recording to them. And we was just taking a break to go, like, mess with Cash. So that's what happened on the way to walking into the house.
That is funny. That is funny. How often do you use your pool out here?
We never use the pool. Guys never use the pool.
Never. Man, if I had a pool, I would be in the pool every day.
Right, exactly. It's for the ladies.
For the ladies, okay, that makes sense. So I know also, you're a very low key guy. In your spare time, I know you said you like to watch movies, relax at home, take shrooms. I'm curious about the shroom experience. Do you have any advice for somebody whose first time it is maybe taking shrooms?
Start slow and make sure you're around the right people and like in an environment where you can't, like, you know what I mean? Can't do nothing crazy. Especially like if you've never like smoked weed or done anything like that, like it's pretty like a big jump, you know what I mean? So if you go from doing nothing to just straight shrooms, be very careful and slowly, gradually increase your doses.
Okay. Do you remember your first time? I feel like everyone has a really interesting first time experience.
Oh, yeah. Like when I was finishing high school around like 17, 18, I did it with some friends and I had a bad trip. And that's what scared me for a long time from doing it again. But the bad trip kind of showed me, like, in my life at that time, I wasn't really doing the right things. And when I came out of it, it made me finish high school and, like, go down the right path. I feel like it helped me a lot, seeing what's wrong with me. When one of my friends who was, like, really like himself his whole life, he had a really good trip and it was bothering me. So I just knew what I had to fix in my life.
Okay. Interesting. I know, yeah, people always have really different experiences, but the common theme of it is like they always realize something like dope about their lives that they want to fix. Like it takes you to a really deep place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So do you microdose or how often do you do it?
We done got past the microdosing stage, but I don't do it like too often. I don't do anything too often, but when I do it, I really do it.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe my first time will be this year. Who knows?
Right. Hopefully, let me know how it goes.
We'll see. I don't know where I should be or what I should do. I'm like, should I be at home? I don't know.
The best is to be with someone that you trust that's done it before.
Okay.
And just act like home. Don't like go outside and do dumb shit.
Okay. All right. Easy enough.
Right.
I'll try that. So given, the Grammys just recently passed this last week, and you had one of the biggest albums of 2022, do you feel like you got snubbed at all?
No, not at all. It's cool. I like the nominees they had. The nominees they had made amazing albums.
Okay. What's your thoughts on award shows in general?
I feel like, they should be more like open about how they, make their decisions or whatever, but they're starting to make moves on that, so
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to them too much.
Okay, just do your own
To
thing.
watch them more as a kid, but now that I'm in the game, I don't really like be paying. It's crazy. I don't really be paying attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us too, we're watching on social media, we see like the highlight reels in real time versus like
The biggest
sitting through-
award to me is just like my fans being pleased and being happy, to be honest. That's the biggest award.
I love that. I love that. That's very rewarding. Would you want to win a Grammy? Is that part of the goal for maybe this year or next year?
Yeah, we'll see. We win one is great. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Okay, but you're very much like, I'm gonna put in the work.
Yeah, 100%. We ready for the work for sure.
Ready for the work. Um, okay. So some questions that we had from the audience before we had started this live. They wanted to know a couple things. So one person asked, if you had to pick a different career outside of music, what